Well, the jump from being a mom to the council really is because of a project at Idlewild Park called Project Idlewild that a girlfriend of mine, we did that together along with 500 volunteers, planned that in a year. And I think that process and working with the town and everything kind of got me involved in the community and got me out meeting people and things. And that was kind of my stepping stone from just being a stay-at-home mom to kind of being more involved in the community to investing in the town council. I'm sure everyone probably feels that their ward has special needs. The other councilmen probably feel the same way. I think that obviously Ward 4 especially, I think the dynamics within the ward, what's changing in the ward, the makeup of the ward, everything makes it an interesting. We have residential, I've got part of the business district, I've got some of the poorer neighborhoods, high rent districts, I've got some of the more established neighborhoods also. And at one time I had Londonderry, but I've now picked up the area behind St. Peter and Paul. And so it's a very unique, a lot of renters and a lot of homeowners too on that end. And so each neighborhood, I think, has its distinct characteristics. And I think personally that's what makes Ward 4 so special.
Yeah.
Much more.
Do you feel like in these communities they have a sense that local government is something that is there to help them?
I think hopefully eventually they do. I understand the mistrust that they have. I don't understand the conditions they come from. I think it's hard to wrap your brain around what some of these people are escaping. But trying to understand where they're from, you can see the mistrust in the government that they may have. I would hope that, you know, they're my neighbors and hopefully over time they'll come to have some sense of faith in us. That I think it'll be a big hurdle to overcome, but I hope that we can take some steps towards that.
Yeah.
Projects. That's one thing I'm not sure people understand about the council is that yes, we work for the people, but one of the things that we had the opportunity, besides just sitting in these meetings, are these great projects that are going on in town. And being a liaison between the community and the town has been great. You know, Eastern Shore Land Conservancy would kind of keep me informed. That was a great project for the community. I'd like to be involved when the hospital relocates. If I'm still here, you know, I want to be involved in that committee and hearing about, you know, the Port Street, hearing about the Hill project, the investment that the town's making to those homes on the Hill. All that is great opportunities for the council and me. You know, those are projects that I'm involved in. It's opened, you know, a lot of opportunity for me to be invested in some of these projects.
What happens when the hospital leaves?
It's a good question.
We're trying to make sure that they built a new hospital.
That's right.
I do want to get into this.
Yeah, that's a good question.
It's about 100 acres, isn't it?
What, right downtown?
Well, their physical plan.
Their physical. I'm not sure the exact size, but it's a significant impact to the community and to downtown and to Ward 4. And what that's going to turn into is important. And, you know, we tried to talk to Ken Kozel about it, but it sounds like they need to kind of go through their paperwork, their steps first, then they're going to turn their focus on what to do with the building once they've built the new hospital. A couple years ago, you know, the town owns the 11-acre property down on Easton Point, which was the old public works facility, with the idea the mayor had of creating that into a public access park, which I think a lot of the community in Easton needs. While Talbot County has miles and miles of waterfront, the community in Easton really doesn't have access to that except for at a handful of spots. But to have that within walking distance of the community is a great opportunity. And so I'm definitely interested in that, and to make sure it's a community accessible area of town that helps to complement the downtown that we have. I did not agree with the county decision, the county council's decision. I mean, I don't envy them the decision they had to make. I know it was difficult, and I know they put a lot of time and effort. When it came down to it, I saw a different side of the story than they did. And I looked at it as an opportunity, not necessarily to change history, which I think a lot of people were saying was trying to happen, but to honor the full history on both sides. And I thought the county council maybe missed an opportunity with that. I would have voted to have it moved. And even to maybe keep the base with the name of the soldiers, but to remove the topper on that represented so much to the African American community here. There was an opportunity there, I think, that maybe the county council missed, and I didn't think it had to be an all or one, but maybe a compromise somewhere in there, and to sit down and really work with the NAACP and the community and come to a resolution. But that's how I saw it. I do think that it can't be an us and them kind of community, that we really do need to kind of band together, and I think there's opportunity for that, and I would hope that the conversation's not over. You know, personally, I always worry about, you know, how the community is holding up. Am I doing a good job? Do they have faith in me? Am I working hard enough? I think we always worry about that. In general, I just want to make sure that, you know, downtown stays viable, people stay in their homes, they have safe living conditions. I think that's another issue that is unique to Ward 4 sometimes, is some of the rental conditions. So making sure that those renters have safe living conditions is important. So those are the things that I always worry about. Yeah. The kids, you know, access to the schools, transportation, things like that.
Well, what makes it worthwhile for you?
I think the opportunity to be involved in the community. I think there are so many exciting things that are happening in the town, and that I've really been able to be part of that because of the council, and that's really what keeps me going. To feel that I'm making a difference, you know, for my family, for my kids, for the community. So I hope that that would continue, and really it's not the meetings, it's not the every other Monday night meetings, it's really the projects that are going on in the community that are exciting and that keep me hopefully working hard for everyone that I represent.